Hi, I'm Chuck Green. Welcome to Under the Hood. This week we're going to talk about the LED touch. We're going to talk about uplighting, mainly for you event guys, you event DJs, wedding DJs. So, all right, before we get to the uplighting part, we're going to go through the controller, the LED touch. The LED touch is an awesome, tiny little compact LED controller, which is perfect if you're like a wedding DJ, an event planner, somewhere where you need to do uplighting and you want to have access to some pretty cool patterns. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go into menu, hold it down, and the first thing it's going to ask me if I want to set the date, which we already have done, then in time, which is done. Third, it's going to say set clock. That's really in case you have this in a permanent installation, so I can say like at 3:30 today I want all the cams to turn red. And you can have 3 presets per 24-hour period. It's kind of neat. 4, delete chase, we don't want to do that. 6, erase memory. 7, lock keyboard. That's another good feature. If you're going to use this in an install, you can lock it so people can't mess with it. But 8, DMX configuration, that's where we want to go. So I'm going to hit enter, and you can configure it to RGB, RGBW, RGB with dimmer, but we're going to set it to RGB. Just plain old RGB. Now, even though I set it to just regular RGB, the cans still need to be 4 channels apart. So the first one's 1, the second one's 5, and so on. I have it on blackout, but I've already hit chase 1. So I'm going to take that off blackout. You can see it's scrolling through one of our factory shows. And one of the really cool things about this guy is we ship it to you from the factory with 6 really cool shows already in it. We have factory shows loaded in chases 1 through 6, and chases 7 through 24 are user shows that you guys get to make for yourself. Right now it's kind of scrolling a little fast, so I'm going to hit the fade button here, and I'm going to slow it down. You can actually slow it down to 90 minutes. So, I mean, that's a real gradual fade. One of my favorite features about this controller is it shows you on the LED next to the fixture what color the fixture is going to be, which is really handy for programming. Even if you're at home and you don't want to hook the lights up, you got a gig and you're like, hey, I gotta have everything red and green or whatever, you know what color it's going to be without even hooking the lights up. And I think that's a pretty cool feature. So that's chase 1. I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to check out chase 2, which is pretty trick. It's like a rainbow chase. Chase 3. Now, you may want to just not have any animation going on, any chasing. And so I'll go up here to run mode. You can actually set it in music mode if you want, sound active. But chances are if you're doing a classier event, you don't want everything flash and trash. You just kind of want everything static. So you can just take the chase and then manually select whatever scene you want. So anyhow, these are the preset chases. I'm going to show you how to make your own chase here. You're going to hold down program for 3 seconds. It goes right to chase 7 because chases 7 through 24, those are the user chases. Those are the ones you get to fill, and you can put up to 30 steps in each chase, and that's a long chase. So we're going to pretend that we got a corporate gig and colors are red and blue. So first thing I'm going to do is select every other fixture. Then I'm going to go to color. It doesn't have to be every other fixture. It can just be whatever fixtures you want to use, but I'm going to use every other fixture. So I'm going to go to color, and I'm going to, okay, well there's red. So now I'm going to deselect it. When the fixture is deselected, you'll see the LED flashing. When it's solid, that means it's selected. So now I'm going to find blue. Okay, so now I'm going to hit record. Now I'm going to make another scene. So the ones that are deselected are flashing again. The ones that are selected aren't. I'm going to take the ones that aren't and I'm going to roll them back to red. I'm going to go through, select, deselect, select. And I'm going to find blue. Now I'm going to hit record again. You can do this 30 times. I'm going to do it for you 2 times. So I'm going to get out of program mode. It's going to save it. So now I hit chase. I'm going to go find chase number 7. There's our chase. It's on auto. And now it's got, so it's got a real slow fade. I want to speed the fade up a little bit. And now you'll see it alternate between the colors. Now, like I said earlier, one of the things you're probably usually going to use, say you're doing a corporate event or a wedding, you're just going to go to manual mode. Now I'm going to go to macros, and what macros are is a preset look. So I'm going to go here, macro. A lot of them are just colors. Some of them are fades. And if I go here to fade, it'll be the fade time for each individual macro. So really what that is you'll have a chase, basically, of chases. But it just really gives you a whole bunch of looks. Also, there is an optional foot controller, which is really cool because you can go through the modes. There's a full-on button, which is great for if you're in a band and you just want to hit the lights and have everything go full on. You can go up and down, and you can select over here if you want the up and down to be your fade time or your hold time. So you can also just manually go through your scenes on it. So yeah, there's the LED TFC optional foot controller for it. Alright, so now we're going to talk about uplighting, and we're going to talk about the fixtures you use while uplighting. The most common is your par can, and I've got our American DJ Pro Par 56 RGB here, which is a fantastic par can for that. It's got 36 1-watt LEDs. And then also, a lot of times, you want to use linear fixtures, like your Megabar series. I've got the 50 and I've got the full Megabar here. Cool thing about linear fixtures is you get a long, even beam. And with par cans, you get more of a tight column of light, kind of like what I got going on back here. Sometimes people will try uplighting with different things. Like we've got the Mega Panel here, which is an amazing fixture from American DJ. Not exactly what I would use for uplighting unless I could get a few feet away from the wall. Then you'll get a nice big even spot on the wall. These are also great if you're going to mount it from the ceiling to light up a wall. Alright, so we're going to go to the back wall here. I'm going to show you just basically how we set it up. Okay, here I've got 4 of the Pro Par 56 RGB, and a really cool feature about this par can is they have the scissor yoke here, so you can point it straight up, and you want to make sure you get a nice even flow up the wall. There's a couple ways you can do it. You can go for a couple different looks. You can pull it back a little, tilt it, you'll have more of a hot spot at the bottom with the gradual fade up. You can pull it back so it's a little dimmer depending on how high the ceiling is. But this part of lighting is really kind of like painting. It's just the look you're trying to go for. It's no right, there's no wrong. Just with me personally, I try to keep it not so tacky with a bunch of different flashing colors. I kind of like subtle colors, and I try to stick with some pretty cool color schemes, but without going over the top. If it's a wedding or something, you don't want it to look like a nightclub. Just keep that in mind. Alright, so here I've got a Megabar 50 RGB set up, and I've got a Pro Par 56 RGB set up. You can see here, just along the wall, that this beam angle on a linear fixture is about 3 times the width of the one on the par can. It's really cool. You can use these things together, so you can have like maybe a wide beam and then have a narrow beam and then another wide beam. And again, it's all about getting different fields of depth with lighting. It's about creating an atmosphere. I'm Chuck Green. This is the LED Touch. This has been Under the Hood. We'll see you next time.